Now guys, we're going to be calculating depreciation. The financial year is very important. That's why I started with that. Note that accumulated depreciation balance at the beginning of the year is 2,875,000. Accumulated depreciation of the asset sold at the beginning of the year. Please note that the beginning of the year will be the 1st of March 2019. On the 1st of March 2019, accumulated depreciation of the vehicle sold will be 1,950,000. If you're confused as to how I got that 1,950,000, please go back to the previous asset register. Go back to the previous video and listen very carefully and rewatch it 3 times, and then come back and you'll realize where I got that 1,350,000 rand. Okay, meaning that accumulated depreciation balance at the end of the financial year will be that 2,875,000 minus 1,950,000, and that will give you 925,000. Okay, that is accumulated depreciation balance at the beginning of the year, accumulated depreciation balance of the assets sold at the beginning of the year, and this is the balance of all vehicles that were not sold at the beginning of the year. And obviously guys, for us to calculate depreciation on vehicles sold, we're going to start with the cost price. The cost price was 4,800,000. I don't want to say the beginning of the year because the cost price will never change. That is for only grade 12, by the way. When you go to varsity, it'll change. Okay. In this case, guys, the accumulated depreciation of the vehicle sold at the beginning of the year, it's 1,950,000. 4,800,000 minus 1,950,000, it will give you 2,850,000, which is the carrying value of the asset sold at the beginning of the financial year. Now, for us to calculate depreciation for the 2020 financial year, I repeat, 2020 financial year. Okay, I see a mistake somewhere there in my slides. (2020) financial year, guys. 2020 financial year starts on the 1st of March 2019. Note that September falls between the 1st of March 2019 and the 28th of February 2020. It's between, it's not after, it's between. Hope you got that. All right, in this case, guys, meaning that we've only used it from here up to there. Remember, guys, I've said this so many times, we only depreciate the asset for as long as we are using it. If we don't use it, I know that statement is a little bit wrong because at varsity they'll tell you even if the asset is idle, you will still have to depreciate it for as long as it was ready for use. Whether you're using it or not, as long as it was ready for use and you still own that asset, you will always depreciate it. Okay. Now, in this case, guys, we've used this asset in the current financial year. We've only used it for 7 months. Okay, so for as long as you have the asset, we assume that you're using it. Even if it was idle for 1 month or 2 months, you will still depreciate it. Even if it was idle for the whole month, you will still depreciate it until you get rid of it, until you dispose it. It's either you dispose it or you sell it. I know the disposal and selling, it's probably the same thing right now, but they're a little bit different because when you dispose something, you're just getting rid of it. You dispose something by getting rid of it, or you dispose it by selling it. So you will depreciate until the earlier of the two, which is whether you sell it or you dispose it. The earlier of the two, that's when you will depreciate up to that. Okay, now in this case, guys, your asset will be depreciated for 7 months in the current year because we only use it for 7 months. We didn't have this asset by year end. The fact that we didn't have it, guys, by year end, it means that we cannot depreciate it any longer. All right. Depreciation for the current year is 415,625. To get accumulated depreciation at the end of the financial year, you're going to take that 415,625, add it with accumulated depreciation of the assets sold, which at the beginning of the month, or the year, which is 1,950,000 rand. Let's quickly calculate. Oh, depreciation, the 415,000 rand will be on the credit side of accumulated depreciation account because it increases your accumulated depreciation account. Okay, what else? The 2,365,000 rand 625 will be on the debit side of your accumulated depreciation account. There it is, debit side. So you're going to record it on the debit side because it decreases your accumulated depreciation. The reason why it decreases your accumulated depreciation is because you got rid of the asset. Therefore, when you get rid of the asset, you must get rid of the accumulated depreciation that relates to that asset. Okay. Now let's go and calculate accumulated depreciation of the remaining vehicles. The accumulated depreciation of the remaining vehicles, guys, you will have to start with the financial year. It starts on the 1st of March 2019. It ends on the 28th of Feb 2020. Accumulated depreciation of all vehicles will be 2,875 at the beginning of the year, and it will be 1,950 of the assets sold at the beginning of the year, and meaning that the remaining assets accumulated depreciation will be 925,000. Okay, I've explained that. Now for us to calculate depreciation of the remaining assets at the beginning of the year, we're going to take the cost price at the beginning of the year, and well, it doesn't really matter whether it's at the beginning of the year because the cost price of the remaining vehicles will always be the same. In this case, guys, we're going to have accumulated depreciation at the beginning of the year of the remaining assets, which is 925,000. Please note that everything here is all about the remaining assets. It's 925,000. Carrying value of the remaining assets at the beginning of the year will be 675,000 rand. Okay, now to calculate the depreciation of the remaining assets, guys, I'm just going to take that 675,000 multiplied by 25% multiplied by 12 over 12. I've just indicated that is because we've had it for the whole year. All right, it'll give you 168,750. I don't know where some of you got your values. Please go and look at your rewatch the slide, as a matter of fact, because it'll explain everything as to how everything what was supposed to have been done. Okay, you depreciate these assets on the based on, you use the diminution balance method. For you to actually find the depreciation, you need the carrying value. Hence, the carrying value at the beginning of this asset, of the year of this asset, was 675,000 rand. Okay, it will be 675,000 multiplied by the depreciation rate. It will give you 168,750. All right. Now that is the depreciation, guys. It will be recorded on the credit side of your accumulated depreciation account, and take that 168,750 added with 925,000. It will give you 1,093,750. All right, guys. All I did was just remember here everything is for the remaining. Now, guys, in the general ledger, your accumulated depreciation account, it increases on the debit side and it decreases on the, it increases on the credit side, it decreases on the debit side. Okay, please note. Please note that this account will actually increase on the credit side and it's only increased by depreciation. So everything that comes here, I don't want to see any cost price. Everything that comes here is depreciation. Okay, that is the passcode, depreciation. It's either accumulated as long as it has depreciation. Now, balance at the beginning of the year in this case, guys, will be 2,875,000. Depreciation will be 415,625,000, and depreciation of all the vehicles will be 168,750. All right, and accumulated depreciation of the assets sold will be 2,365,625. All right, I did show you guys how I got that. Okay, I don't want to go back to the timeline. Let me just do it for you. See, there it is over there. There. Go back to the slide to figure out how I got it. Right? Now, guys, meaning that the carrying value at the end of the year will be 1,093,750, and that will be your balance brought down in the next financial year, guys, which is 1,093,750. That is the depreciation of the asset sold. Okay, that Bible is in the wrong thing. That's here. It needs to start there. So the Bible must start there. Okay, that is depreciation of the asset sold. It must be apportioned according to the amounts over which the asset was used. In this year's case, guys, we used this asset for 7 months. So basically, it was apportioned over 7 months. Over 7 months. 7 months over 12. Okay, don't know what happened there. 7 months over 12. Hope we good. I don't know what some of you got, especially Milena. Milena got everything right, but I have no idea where you got the carrying value, where you got the balance carried down. Okay, so everything you did was correct, but don't know what you did. All right, asset disposal account. This account, guys, I said you don't even need to stress about this account. You just have to remember the structure. It will never change. It will never change. It's always the cost price of the asset. Okay, I see something wrong there. Cost price of the asset in this case will be 4,800,000 rand. I don't think we made a profit here. So basically, accumulated depreciation of the asset sold is that much. This asset was sold for 2,400,000 rand. Where is it in your books? Where is this value? And why did you leave this out? Because I told you that the asset disposal account will always be in this form. You just need to learn this form, and that's it. And then you've got a loss. Your loss in this case, guys, will be 34,000 something, 34,375. And then you balance it off, and that's it, guys. Okay. The next thing we're going to be doing equipment.